All right, here we are, Port Mansfield, and we got a special guest, Captain Caleb, right here.
That's me. I am Captain Caleb, believe it or not.
Welcome to Port Mansfield. It's been a minute since you've been down here.
Been about a year since I've been here.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you down here. You know, we've got some big things happening at KW, and Caleb is obviously part of that progression.
Right. Very excited. Very excited. I've been using the ball tails for years, and really like them. And so I get to come meet Mr. Balltail himself and fish with him a little bit.
Yeah. Well, some people call him Mr. Wiggalo.
Rumor is there's a new exciting balltail.
There is. It's somewhere. It's around. It'll come out. But today we're going to go out and have a fun day of fishing. You know, Caleb's down here with Larry and the guys, and we're just going to go out and have a good time fishing. Mr. Redfish, I prefer trout. I don't know how this is going to work out today.
I'm hoping a mouse didn't chew a hole in my waders while they were sitting there doing nothing for the last 6 months.
Well, it's 63 degrees. I think you won't get frostbite.
Man, us little skinny fellas, we have trouble with temperatures.
I agree. But we're excited that Captain Caleb's down here in Port Mansfield with us. We've never fished together. We've known each other for quite a long time. He's Upper Coast. You know, we cross paths at boat shows, fishing shows, that kind of thing. Cool guy right here for sure, and we're happy to have him down here in Port.
Wayne Davis called me cool. I just want everybody. Wayne, Mr. WD said I was cool. I didn't say it, but he said it.
It's good. The abuse that comes my way is it's every usually on this trek out the harbor, really.
It's a
and
rough
in
one.
the water, and then on the way back in. You guys need to give me a break. I'm gonna start getting mean. But anyway, we're gonna try to catch some nice fish today. Spend some time on the water. Talk about the new baits that's coming out. Field test them a little bit. It's a little chilly. We had a front coming yesterday when these guys came in, and I think it's manageable. I think we'll have a good day.
Oh, I'm supposed to say something. We're gonna have a good day. I know Wayne Davis. He's my friend.
All right. Yeah. Later. All right. So we showed up to our first spot, and within about 30 seconds, Caleb has got off the boat and he's now gone. So he has no instruction, no guidance. He's just off in the distance fishing. So let's see if he can pull it off today. But anyway, we're going to be working 62 degrees, light northwest wind. We're going to work a little pocket and see if those fish are in that pocket. Wiggalos, willowtails, and Captain Caleb is throwing a floater, so we shall see what it is. A little bit of bait activity. The moon, find the moon here in a second. It's starting to fall. Hope we have a good day. That sun comes out, warms up that water just a little bit. We should have a good bite. The water temp was 70 yesterday before the front came through. Front came through about 9:30 in the morning and blew us off the water pretty much. So we're back at it today.
Yeah, decent one too. I don't have it hooked very good at all.
Ooh.
I really don't know if we're gonna get to try not to make it happen with the little ones. Ooh, hey, photo op, dude. There is a huge mullet hanging out of this one's mouth. And the mullet came out. Come on, girlfriend. Covered in sea lice, Jack. Pretty nice chunky little girl right there. Not bad. As Wayne so often points out, they're covered in lice, and we think that's why the bite's a little bit slow right now. They're just kind of hanging out on bottom. But that big old mullet shed hanging out of her mouth suggests otherwise, doesn't it? Somebody swam past her at a bad time. Beautiful Port Mansfield fish there. I'll have to see another day. The key to catching that trout was riding in Wayne's boat and doing what he told me to. When we got out of the boat, we noticed that there was bait working up in this area, and it's kind of a drop into a lower spot. The way the mullet had been kind of rolling, we've only seen one bait fish really darting around and shooting out, and so I was matching my corky to what we were seeing the mullet do, just kind of wallering around and making little ripples here and there, and kept throwing in, caught a couple of redfish out of it, but really slowed it down in a pothole, gave it some wiggles, but didn't really take it away from whatever I thought was out there, and that got the strike, and it was actually one of the more aggressive strikes of the day. But the idea of leaving it in front of their face is something that we're really working on right now. I'm watching Wayne work his plastic, and he's working it pretty slow and hopping it around, and I'm just doing the same thing with the corky.
Running right at me. I don't think it's very big. Another one of those fish I need to get out of the way for Captain Caleb so he can catch it. Oh, it's exactly what I thought it was. Big old flatty. God dang. I'd say. Woo! Golly, it is a damn doormat. Woo! See if I can get him to come up just so before he comes up. It's the new one with the eyes, Willowtail, Mansfield Margarita. Yeah. Doormat laying right up on that shelf. Barely hooked. Come on, buddy. As y'all know, I'm the world's worst boga gripper. Don't have me do it for you in a tournament. Really nice doormat. Caught on a new custom Willowtail Mansfield Margarita with those painted eyes on it. Kind of hooked on the outside of the lip, really.
Alright, Joey, we gotta start catching some damn fish again.
But a heck of, oh, look at the big old mullet sticking out of his throat. No wonder it's so fat. I'm gonna look at that in just a second here. His head sticking out. Usually they eat from a different angle with the head going down into the, but that one there has got his mullet backwards.
Saw it for a second, he just swallowed it.
Oh, he did? Yeah, he didn't want you, oh, he did swallow it. He didn't want you to eat it, see it. Man, that hook is in there good. Just a good old flatty. Awesome. Now these lures, we got a few of these custom painted eyes be available for the Houston Fishing Show, as will these 1/0 hooks. Naughty hooker, it stuck that flounder good. Maybe that's what I had earlier. But we're gonna try to get another one.
Yeah, it may not be 3. Well, yeah.
On his pictures, I get where only I'll look at his picture's head to even have an idea of how big it actually is.
I'm trying my best to lose this flounder, Wayne.
Over by the lock,
There it goes.
concrete ledges.
Yeah, it's not that big.
The flounder run, they'll stack up.
Thing about Mansfield, Caleb, you gotta... Come on. Didn't want it. There he is. Big fish. It's a good fish right there. What I'm going to try to do, it swirled under it twice. I know it's a good fish. I'm going to try to throw this plastic in there. If I can do it quick enough, sometimes they'll hit. Just like that. So if you have a blow up or a swirl on your topwater and you can't get them to commit, maybe try it twice. Throw back in there and follow up with the plastic.
Oh, he's on the feet.
I know. So we're tangled up.
Here he is.
Tangled up with the camera guy. I thought it was a better fish. Doesn't matter. It was a redfish, but the point is, this fish, and it could have been another fish in there too, rolled on my topwater twice, as you probably saw, and I did it twice. Topwater, I threw back in there, and then I said, you know what, third time I'm going to try to get him in there with this plastic, and I threw right where he was, couple of pops, and that redfish hit that plastic. We tried this earlier, it didn't work. The fish were they weren't as active, but that worked like clockwork right there. So that's pretty cool to see it unfold like that. So topwater, couple of misses. I carry 2 rods with me for that purpose. I can switch real quick and get in there with the plastic, and worked out just perfectly.
Hey guys, Captain Caleb here, out here fishing with Wayne and Larry down in Port Mansfield. Wanted to show you the floating fat boy. Now, you have your fat boy and you have your floater. The way you can tell is the floater has the fins on the side. It's got a longer cork in it and no rattle, so this thing's going to float better. It's going to be more buoyant. One of my favorite applications to it is whenever we're in shallow water and I don't want to have to move that fat boy as fast. I can leave this one in the strike zone longer where it doesn't go down as quick, keep it up top. I always talk about how I bend the nose down and then I bend the tail down. On a floater, I don't bend the tail down quite as much. I don't want that tail bent so whenever it's working, I'm pulling it and digging it. I want it to stay up. Most of the morning I've been keeping it about an inch below the water level. It's been a good lure for us this morning, but it's a simple, easy lure to use. You throw it out, and then I just kind of walk the dog back in, rhythmatic, steady twitches of my rod, and then I'll stop it and just let it sit. Maybe it's over a pothole or just somewhere I think there's a strike zone or anything like that. But the difference between this and the sinking fat boy is the sinking fat boy, I'll often just let it stop and not mess with it a whole lot. This one, whenever I stop it, I'm still moving my reel handle just a little bit, or you can do that. You can drag your rod tip up a little bit. And the reason I do that is these things, they have a design flaw in my opinion. And whenever you stop them, the tail end of the lure wants to dig down. So you'll have it working along, and then when you stop it, the butt falls and it kind of falls backwards. You can still get strikes that way, but I would rather it be moving ever so slowly and more kind of natural and level, in my opinion. And most of fishing is confidence, if I'm being honest. So if you believe in what you're doing, you're gonna just catch more fish. There's no doubt about it. But that's the quick, easy, simple explanation of the floating Fat Boy, and when I use it and how I use it whenever it's time for it. So remember, the fin marks on the gills on the side and the larger cork. That's how you tell the difference. There's no rattle. If you pick up a package and shake it and you hear a rattle, it is not a floater. It is a sinker. I think I can't tell what this is, but I do think downsizing that quirky was a good call. It's pulling a little bit redfishish, but I have had. Hey Wayne, when this fish goes past you, tell me what it is. I'm thumbing the spool at the moment, trying to keep him out from your line. By the time I hooked up, this Wayne goes, "Oh, there's a huge trout swimming in front of me," and I was like, "Oh boy, I hope I just busted the school." We drove a long ways this morning to come see my favorite buddies, didn't we? As soon as we downsized, bam, 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 bam. We went a good while without even getting a bite. Little soft dine. Ooh. That's a good redfish. He's right at about 7.5, probably 26 if I had to guess. But I like catching them. A lot of trout guys don't like them. I like the fight. Oh man, thanks for the fun. Come play again. And downsizing, man. And whether it's plastics or Topwaters or quirkies or whatever, when I know there's fish around me but I'm not getting bit, I'll often try it, and today it worked. Might be where the KWigglers Ball-tail Juniors come into play.
So what we've done, we've walked out of this deeper stuff up on this flat, kind of a point also, and we are just flat out, you're good. The reds are just going crazy right now. On top, kicking up flounder along the way. Captain Caleb just smoked a 7.5 pounder. Larry's missed 2 big trout, about a 6-pound trout just swam by me. The water's gin clear. It's just, we are, and they're, because the water temperature is about 67 or 68 degrees, and these fish are flat out just mean when that water temp gets up close to 70. My opinion, fish fight the hardest when that water temperature is around 66 to 70 degrees. It's got a lot of energy. This Mansfield knocker, and I saw this needlefish run for its life, and I threw right to it. And man, I didn't know at the time whether or not that needlefish was running from my topwater or a big fish. But I'll be darned, right after, man, just a couple of twitches after I saw that big old, or that ribbon fish run, or ballyhoo, or whatever it was, This thing just smoked it. I think it's a good trout. I'm not 100% sure.
Barely hooked.
Oh, she's going to be heavy. Get her in here. Again, I am the world's worst bogey gripper, for the record. That's a good one. But it was neat to see that ballyhoo or whatever it was, needlefish. I mean, it was running for its life, skipping across the water. And I had already happened to cast in the right place at the right time. And I thought, that thing running after my, scared of my lure, or is there a big trout nearby? Well, there's your answer. Real nice one.
Open up. There we go. Nice one. About 4 1/4. Look at all that life. But she slammed that little junior ball tail. I was getting little blow ups on the top water. I could only caught one. So that was my first or second cast on that junior ball tail. Slammed it.
We're still searching for that big one, but the double D proves to be the right recipe for right now. I did change colors up, but I was throwing that pearl top silver sided quirky, and so I went with the purple top on the double D. But the one thing I did elect to do is stay with the silver sides. I had a pearl top double D with gold sides, but since the silver had been working, I stuck with that silver. Holy smokes! This fish right here, one of these days when he grows up, is going to be one of those tournament unicorns. Look at the hump in that dude's back. That's gonna be a good one day. Looks like Lawrence Taylor. Don't do crack, kids.
Solid one, just a hair over 4. You can see hooked pretty good right in the corner on the side of the mouth on the inside. That's that little red and white junior ball tail. That one right there, it's the good fish. Let her go. See if we can find another one.
Still not real sure what it is. These fish have been missing the lure bad. So went to that double D because I can literally give them a target that's dead still in the water and this long. This one sucked it up. I can't tell what it is. It's kind of running back and forth and back and forth. So where I feel like I can feel a head shake. It might just be a redfish changing directions on me. He's making my reel make weird sounds. Those last couple of fish haven't got it to do. Fish have gotten a lot more aggressive this afternoon. We're fishing after a full moon, so I think we had a pretty good bite early. Then it got a little bit slow mid-morning, as it often will do on a moon, and now that we're mid-afternoon, the bite's a lot more consistent, a lot more aggressive. So, not saying it's going to happen, but the key to landing these fish for me is just staying calm, letting them chill out and get comfortable. As comfortable as they can be anyway. But I don't ever really try to rush it. I just kind of ease them up to me, and if I can get them to open their mouth, I'll hit them with the boga. And if not, I just kind of let them do their thing. I'm not really fighting them, they're not fighting me, so I'm not wearing them out too bad. But I'm also not getting the situation really elevated to where they really want to fight and thrash either. There we go. Look at that pretty girl. That's a Port Mansfield fishing with Wayne Davis trout right there, if I ever saw one. What do we got there? Jody got on me about not giving him time to film that last big one from this morning more, so we'll give him plenty of time this time. Everybody has their own way of releasing fish. This one isn't going to take much at all because we took pretty good care of her. But I just kind of get them by their tail and just give them some wiggles back and forth. Off she goes. The water's nice and cool. It's pretty easy to turn them loose when it's warm. You have to be a little bit more careful while you're landing them and everything, give them a little more. But I'm happy for her to see her go back. And next guy that catches her, she's going to be even a nicer fish. Wayne caught a good one over there and got him stirred up. Hey Wayne, I'm satisfied with my trip. Okay. I like to get my rod up here above my head like this, and I kind of pinch off the string with my thumb, where if she runs I can give her line. Otherwise I can get a hold of her, but now I have complete control of the fish to move her head around, move her body around, let her work in circles, whatever she wants to do. I don't want to fight her and stress her out and make it harder to get a good release on her, but at the same time I have to get a little bit going with her. Here we go. Another good solid fish. One you're always happy to see. Not quite as big as the last one, but she's solid and on her way to becoming a better one if we take care of her and let her go to live another day. I'm gonna name this one Jody. Oh, come on, baby. That's a pretty good chunky fish. I like her. I'm happy with her. She is 5.5. I like that.
Okay.
This one doesn't have a great big mullet hanging out of her mouth. She's still covered in the sea lice, and that's another reason that I think that plug that floats along and then just stops in the top of the water and sits there and gets her to come up and grab it is great. Kind of funny, we worry about being quiet and all this stuff, but Jody and I were walking over to check out a fish that Wayne caught, and I caught her 20 feet away from us while we were splashing around. Oh boy. Let's see if we can't do it.
Whoop. There she goes.
Take care of them, be nice to them. You can let them play out a little bit for a pretty decent while, as long as you're not jerking on their face and really working them, and they release really nice.
Winding down the day with Captain Caleb, Larry, and Jimmy and Jody. Had a great day on the water. Thanks for coming down.
It was a heck of a day. Thanks for taking us. Wayne rolled out the red carpet, caught a lot of fish, caught some big fish. He even let me catch some redfish, which I was excited about. I think we had a trout that was like 6 3/4, but man, that redfish was nice. That was a beautiful redfish.
We did a little field testing out there. We're throwing a bunch of different stuff. Everybody was throwing something different. It was a kind of a slow start to get the wheels turning. Yeah,
Yeah, slow start. Picked up in the afternoon. Pretty decent bite. I don't know. We had 4 or 5, 6, 4 or 5 pounders, and then 2 or 3 6-pounders.
Yeah.
Captain Caleb here doing his best quickly down under impression, catching those trout like that.
Yeah. But so it's kind of a unique day. You know, yesterday we had a front. Tomorrow we have another front. We were coming off post front, and then we kind of walked into pre-front scenario. Caleb and I were talking about that, and the bite picked up. Now we could have just been in the fish.
We could have.
Also, but a combination also could have.
I like your first. That's a very astute observation you made. So we're gonna go with the first one. We didn't maybe do anything. We post-fronted, pre-fronted it.
Yep, we set up right. We had a great day, throwing some new stuff. Everybody threw something different, like I was saying. We had them on top, we had them on tails, we had them on corkies, we had them on double D's. We had them on everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Big flounder. We had
multiple flounder,
slams.
black drum, trout, redfish.
For those of y'all watching that follow me, I'll go ahead and say I didn't catch a single flounder. They were everywhere. I didn't catch one of them.
Yeah, so but we appreciate Captain Caleb coming down. You know, this was a trip where we were introducing him, welcoming him to the pro team, along with some other collaborative stuff that we've got in the pipeline. So we've got a lot in store with KWigglers brand, the introduction to the Naughty Hookers, to the junior ball tail. A lot happening.
I can't. I'm physically uncomfortable whenever I'm laying in bed at night because we're not making all this stuff happen faster. We're losing within 2 more hours of our day because it's exciting. I'm absolutely stoked about all of it.
Yep. Well, so stay tuned with everything. We appreciate all the support from everybody out there that supports the KWigglers brand and our mission. And we'll continue to do the best we can for the fishery and for the folks that throw our product.
Absolutely right. Better than yesterday, every time.